Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, host of the Successful Women Show, which airs every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our mission is to help women accelerate the path to success. Women in the workplace, women in business, and women who aspire to become business owners, live their dreams, and reach their goals. So join us Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, hello and welcome to the Success for Women Show. I am Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, your host, and my mission is to help women accelerate the path to success. Well, today's topic is Pathway to Visibility, and my guest is Miss Nikki Curry. Let me just give you a little bit of background on Nikki. Nikki Curry is the principal owner of the Image Brand Company, LLC, and Nikki Curry Media Division. Nikki is a renowned brand visibility and public relations strategist, talent booker, and professional speaker. She is dedicated to amplifying the voices of solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, speakers, and leaders. Nikki is recognized for her strategic leadership abilities and insights. Her clients have been featured in Forbes, MSN, Bloomberg, Entrepreneur, Yahoo Finance, and other national news media outlets such as ABC, NBC, and CBS, as well as nationally syndicated radio shows and podcasts. Well, without delaying this, because I know she has a lot to share with us, I would like to welcome to the Successful Women Show, Miss Nikki Curry.
Hello. How are you?
I am doing very well. How are you?
I am good. Thank you for having me.
Oh,
I
thank you
really
for
appreciate it.
out of your busy schedule. Happy New Year to you and all that good stuff. Well, let's start this new year off with you telling people how they could just do their thing.
Right.
So
Right.
let's get started here because what I like to do, I always give the standard bio on my guests. But then I like to ask the guests, I just want you to tell us what you want us to know about Nikki Curry.
Oh, wow. That's a good one. That is truly a good one. What I would like for your audience and people to know about Nikki Curry is that being a servant leader, such as myself, thought leader and all that good stuff, being of service is not a dirty word. And I just want people to know it's okay to serve others and to be there for others and to clap and cheer for others until it's your turn. And that's what I want to talk about.
Wow, love it. I love it. So tell us, Nikki, what inspired you to connect visibility with leadership? Because I know that's how you pair the two together.
I do. And a lot of times you don't hear that in high level leadership. You always say, oh, you're a leader, you shouldn't worry about being seen and all that. But I believe that leadership isn't just about guiding people, it's about showing up as your authentic self and showing up to impact others. And I think connecting visibility with that leadership piece is so important right now. There are so many people waiting for us to lead them. And I just want to help and share with others how we can do that. And not to just be seen, but to help others to move the needle, to change the narrative, to right some wrongs. So I think it gives us power as leaders.
Absolutely. So tell us, how has your visibility journey shaped your leadership style?
Yeah, you would be surprised. Most people think I'm an extrovert. I can be. I think I'm ambivert, that in between, that piece. But I realize I used to be that person that would sit in the background, behind the scenes. I used to say, "Oh, I'm not going to be up front. I want to be in the back so I can observe others and see what they're talking about." Especially when I was in corporate. And I was in corporate for so long, and I've always been in leadership or management since the age of 16. But I realized that my journey, my assignment, I should say, is built around this helping others step up and step out of the shadows. I want people to understand that you got to have clarity as a leader. You got to show up to get the job done. You can also be vulnerable. And I have shared my story of the importance of listening to others and cheering for others. And that is how it has shaped my journey as a leader. And it has helped me. It has helped for people to be able to relate to me and to be a part of my vision and my goals. So it worked for me. Yeah.
So tell us how that happened. I mean, you talk about sharing your story, your personal story. So tell us a little bit about where the visibility significantly impacted your career or your influence.
Yeah, I kind of fell into this visibility thing. I actually, I've been in the entrepreneurship space, didn't even know what it was called back then, but since the age of 12. And I was surrounded by, I grew up in the entrepreneurship world. My father, brothers, sisters, relatives, and again, just been kind of surrounded by it. And I started at the age of 12 cleaning houses. And when I shared my journey of this entrepreneur piece, like on LinkedIn, there were so many people that came up to me and said, wow. I mean, whether they reached out to me through DMs or text messages and said, thank you for sharing your truth. I decided to create that visibility platform, that person, that Shiro that I needed when I was younger. And I shared this information in a public setting like LinkedIn. And that is how a lot of people now know my story. I talked about my mother. I talked about working outside the home. I talked about being felt as if I was rejected or unknown, unseen. I didn't think I was visible. I thought I was inadequate. So I became the person that I needed the most at a young age. And I just been growing that thing and I just keep growing it and sharing it with others. And I've mastered it. I've mastered helping others become visible, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to ask you. Tell our viewers just how you do that, how you help others become visible.
I believe that creating a visibility plan or creating the visibility that's just right for you, Dr. Lewis, is not a cookie cutter plan. Everyone should not be pursuing visibility the same way. I am a certified DISC practitioner. I don't talk about that a lot, but it has helped me understand human behavior, personalities. So what we do is I go in, I do what we call a lean-in session, and we get down to the nitty-gritty. We talk about you. We unpack things that I really don't like you right now, Nikki, but I bring up all your stuff. And a lot of times, especially women and sometimes women of color, we have what we call visibility blocks. And I have to unpack these blocks. And a lot of times they're stemming from our childhood trauma. Like you heard me say earlier, I had problems with being seen. So I thought being in the background was the norm. That's what I was supposed to do. You know, be seen, not heard, or be quiet, don't speak up, be quiet, cower down. No. There were other plans for me. And now I'm stepping into my assignment. And that's how I help others. I find out what their true assignment is, and then we build a visibility plan around that. And that may mean speaking, that may mean you writing a book, that may mean you being on TV, podcasts, radio shows, things like that. But it is not just one size that fits all. I don't believe in that because we're unique. We're our own individuals. We have our own brands. So
Absolutely.
I think it's important for everyone to create their own visibility plan or strategy on their own terms.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell me, what do you think are some misconceptions that people have about visibility in leadership?
Ooh, that's a good one. And I've kind of changed my perspective and point of view on this. I think the biggest misconception is that people think visibility is all about self promotion. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Ooh, toot my horn, toot my horn. I'm not saying don't share your social proof, don't share the things that you've done. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that true visibility is about service. It's about showing up to solve problems because I believe we were all put here to solve problems. Share your knowledge, create connections, provide impact. That's true visibility for leaders. That, you do it the right way, people will follow you. And you don't have to worry about the thing of look at me. I want recognition. We all want recognition. Don't get me wrong. We all want to show our results and reflect our results and all that good stuff. But there's a way to do it. There is a way to do it. And you should do it the right way so that you can reach your goals, whatever those goals are.
Wow. That is so interesting. I guess I've never looked at it quite from that point of view, but that makes sense. It really does. It really makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, how would you define visibility in the context of leadership?
I would define visibility, a lot of times, again, you don't hear visibility in leadership because people think you're trying to be seen, you're trying to be the big boss, you're on a power struggle, all of that. But it's showing up for your people. That's how I see it. That's my point of view, my perspective. It's showing up consistently, authentically, and strategically. Your job as a leader, when you have mastered visibility, your job as a leader is that you're showing up and your team, your staff, they understand why you're showing up. You're not only showing up for yourself, you're not only showing up for the job or the business, but you're showing up for your team. And they know it. They can feel it. It's that emotional piece that's in there. They go, wow, they may not, my boss or my business owner or CEO may not agree with me all the time, but I know he or she's going to show up for me. They're going to show up with me each and every time the right way and provide correction, provide information, and provide resources, and it's going to make me a better leader myself, because a true leader is not afraid to show up, and a true leader is not afraid to have someone else become a leader or be a better leader. Those are my thoughts on that.
Well, I tell you what, and I'm just gonna throw this out here right now. That's actually not what we're seeing right now in the overall big scheme of things. Okay.
Exactly. And that's why this topic is so important. You know that there are so many different types of leadership styles out here, and it can be so confusing. You're like, but what are we doing here? And I'm telling you, we got to go back to the basics. You can't be an effective leader if you have no one to lead. And if you're leading them around the wrong path, that's going to backfire. I promise you, it's going to backfire. You can feel the power right now. You can have that power struggle going on. You can feel like you're on top of the world. But eventually, you're going to have to walk your walk and talk your talk as a leader. And you can't do this thing alone.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If you're trying to lead from a position of the power, I got all the power. I could just do what I want to do, and you just do what I say and all of that, then like you said, that's going to backfire on you, and which is really sad to have to witness something like that. So
exactly.
Why is visibility so essential for earning trust and respect? because I have to throw out there, when you look at the visibility of the leadership right now, I think both of those are going out the window.
I agree. And here's what most people miss, not just in the climate that we're in now. Most people miss that without trust, everything you do will crumble. We got to go back to the basics, Dr. Lewis. I'm gonna be honest with you. My perspective, everybody has a point of view. Everyone has a perspective. I think we forget to instill trust. We're so busy going after the profit or after our own agenda that we forget that if people don't trust you, those that are backing you, those that are behind you, if they don't see that trust factor consistently,
right,
they're not going to ride with you. They're not going to roll with you. So when leaders are visible, I want to say this the right way. When they're visible and they have established trust, they humanize their brands. They humanize their credibility. They humanize their roles, and it fosters deeper connections.
Yeah.
It's just, visibility is just not about being seen. It's about being present and accountable. Now, we can talk about that accountability piece, and oh boy, that's a whole different talk show there. Yeah,
absolutely. One, people don't want to have accountability.
Right.
So
yeah,
like you said, that's a long conversation in itself.
It is. I do think the missing piece to all of this, to a lot of company CEOs, leaders that are in high power positions, high level positions, we forget that we must build and establish and keep trust in the main vein of things. Without trust, people want to trust brands. Why do you think we keep using the same thing over and over? We stick with what we know. We stick with what we trust. And that goes the same for people in leadership.
Right.
People want to trust you. If they can't trust you, they don't want to work with you, work for you, or be a part of your program or what you're doing. They really don't.
No, they don't. You're absolutely right about that. That's what they say, know, like, and trust, huh? Those are the things.
Exactly.
Wow. So what do you think are some first steps that a leader should take to increase their visibility?
Well, visibility is a part of branding. I'm not sure if I said that early on, but visibility is a part of branding, brand messaging. Everything has a brand. Everything starts with the brand, personal brand, company's brand, product brands, whatever. Everything has a brand around it, whether you recognize it or not. So I think it's about building that trust piece to your brand. So pieces of the branding piece is the messaging. You got an image of the brand, you got the messaging piece. What is your message? What are you standing on? What do you stand for? And then, of course, you have a point of view. That's why I keep using the words point of view. This is my perspective. You may not agree with me, but these are the three factors that makes up a brand. So the first step would be to clarify your message. This is how you increase your visibility, to clarify your message. What do you stand for, and why does it matter? Why should people listen to you? That's what people want to know. People want to understand, who are you? Why should I listen to you? And why should I care? Like Dr. Les Brown would say, why should I care about you?
Right.
And that's how you get to build trust, because people are looking for you to lead them. And they got to be able to trust you. They got to understand what your position is on certain things, especially leaders. They need to know Dr. Lewis believes in X, Y, Z. And that's why I stand with her. So that's the first step. Start by clarifying your message, and then the second thing would be choose platforms that makes you relevant, but they're also in conjunction with your brand. Some of us are all out here. We're all out on the TikTok and we're out here everywhere. I'm telling you, you out here making videos and you're dancing and is that truly your brand? Is that how you want to be perceived.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, a lot of leaders, I do think that they should be on LinkedIn because that's a different platform. That's a different conversation. I'm not saying don't go to Facebook. I'm not saying that Facebook is still the biggest and the baddest. It still works. All of these platforms will work if you work it. Right. But find in your visibility plan, in your strategy of doing things, be intentional about where you spend your time, where you put in your work, all of that good stuff. Be intentional about where you're showing up. Yeah. Where's your audience spending their time? Exactly. Where can you go to help people? And I'm gonna bring this up again. Never underestimate the power of LinkedIn. I got my notice today. As a matter of fact, I got the notice today. Welcome, congratulations. You've hit 13 years on LinkedIn.
Okay.
It has taken me 12 of the 13 years to get serious about LinkedIn. When I lost a $10,000 contract on LinkedIn, that's when I got serious. That is a part of my visibility strategy for me and a lot of my clients, because I can be myself over there. I can be a subject matter expert over there. I can share, I can be a visionary leader, thought leader over there. I can share both sides of my platform over there, and it's welcome. People want to hear my stories. I'm a storyteller. So people want to hear my stories. They want to hear the results too.
Absolutely.
So it's not bragging. It's not, I was talking about you earlier today about how I was on another program and I was listening to your TED Talk. And I was on the backstage, waiting in the backstage of the platform, waiting to go up. I think I was one of the moderators for the Black Business Olympics that time. And then I was listening to you and I forgot I was supposed to be going up next. I was so mesmerized by your talk. I was like, wow, she's talking my language. That's what you want. That's what you want. And then I posted that on LinkedIn earlier today. Do you know how many messages I got about you? Because I'm being visible. I'm talking about coming onto your show, but at the same time, I'm branding someone else because I'm being authentic. This is what I do. That's the best way to elevate your platform, is to help to elevate someone else.
Absolutely.
It's a visibility. I would have never met you. I don't think I would have met you without, I'm like, oh my gosh, and I'm taking notes from your talk.
Thank you.
That's what you do. That's what you do. So
wow.
Yeah.
And I love LinkedIn. Like you, I love LinkedIn because when it comes to the business aspect of it, I do more on LinkedIn than I would like on Facebook or anything. There are some things that I may put on LinkedIn and put it on Facebook.
Right.
But I just, like you said, for me, it's more comfortable being over on the LinkedIn side of it. And it's a different audience, to be honest.
It's a different audience. It's a different conversation.
Yes.
Yeah. And I tell people it's not something you're going to be able to figure out immediately. It's a test situation. Try things, learn about it. I study something pertaining to LinkedIn every day. I'm in all kind of masterminds, all kind of programs. I actually love it. I need to be intentional about where I spend my time. 2025 is a whole new ball game for me. If I want to be visible, I'm going to do it the right way. I want to be in rooms like this with you. Listen, I'm not trying to be with people that I couldn't spend a weekend with. If I couldn't see myself spending a weekend with you, because you know what? This online thing, this online visibility strategy is the same thing offline. If you're not networking offline, it's going to be hard to network online. It's the same thing. Absolutely. You got to be intentional where you spend your time and who you spend your time with. So that's just
protect and correct. That's my motto. If they don't add, protect, and correct, then hey,
that's it. That's it. Yeah, I know. While we're talking on the second step, where you spend the platforms that you use to get this visibility, to get the word out about what you do, who you serve and how you help. That's what it is.
Mhm.
You have to always come from a standpoint as a leader, as solving problems, as a business owner, all of that good stuff. Especially women, we got to be a step above. I'm sorry. We got to be 2 or 3 steps ahead. And you and I have talked about that.
Absolutely.
We can't be afraid to. Now it's time for us to get uncomfortable and stand on the battlefield with each other and be ready to be impactful and to make some changes and change the narrative. So I want to say this about these platforms. Everybody's talking about social media. Don't forget to network offline too.
Oh, yeah.
After COVID, after so much has happened in the world, a lot of us are looking for community. But be intentional about the rooms that you're entering offline.
Yes.
I ask myself 3 questions before I agree to go to an event, be a part of a situation, speak, be a panelist, whatever. I ask, will this help me reach my goals?
Yes.
What do I want to do once I enter this room? How can I help these people in this room? I ask myself these questions. I'm going into these rooms where there's online, where there's Facebook groups. I do spend time in the Facebook groups. You haven't seen me post anything on Facebook, but I am intentional. I do work and network within the Facebook groups. They're really good for that, as well as LinkedIn groups. Right. But I enter these spaces thinking, how can I be of service? How can I help? What can I leave behind? That kind of thing. I want to be more interested in Dr. Lewis opposed to being interested. That's my mantra. And it works for me because reciprocity gets me in the room with people like you. So, so it works.
It puts me in a room with people like you. Absolutely.
So that's step 2. That's step 2, the platforms. And I would probably say step 3 is don't be afraid to share your story, share your expertise, share your value, and don't allow anyone to diminish your contribution. Doggone it. Woo! Especially women. Come on, y'all.
I know. Look, you know we on the same page on that one. You know it. Absolutely.
And I know you see this in your business and everyday walks of life. There's so many of us as women. We shrink. We shrink. I don't know. And I've done it too. Yeah. I've diminished my value. I've, fallen back to allow someone else to shine. I sell shine for a living, right? But I've gotten to the point now, it's like, if I do this thing the right way, everyone will win. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about reaching the common goal. So I'm going to say this to women because this is a show for women. Success Nuggets. Come on, y'all. Do one thing every day or start off once a week doing something that scares the bejeebies out of you. Be bold. No one is going to say, oh, she did this or she messed up. Let me go out here and erect a monument saying Dr. Lewis messed up.
Right.
No one's going to do that.
Yeah.
Because guess what? They're failing too. Those people that you think are judging you, are forming an opinion about you, ask yourself, when was the last time? Give me 3 things that they've actually done that's just so phenomenal. And I tell my clients that. You're worried about your cousin over here talking about you. You don't want to tell them what you're doing or your big win because you think they're going to judge you and talk about you and form a group chat about you. Tell me, when was the last thing? Just give me one thing that's just so phenomenal that your cousin has done. I'll wait. They can't tell me nothing. They can't tell me anything. So why would you continue to shrink?
Right.
Why would you continue to hide your gifts and your talents? You're a walking warehouse of gifts and talents. Your assignment is attached to a group of people or a person. We're put here to solve problems. Think about it.
Yes.
And women do it so well.
Girl. Yes, they do.
We
Yes,
do it so well.
yes.
We do. But we forget that we have value too.
Yes, we do.
We
We do.
forget, and we
Mm.
should. So those are your 3 steps. You know, clarity of your message. Number 2 is be intentional about the platforms when you're pursuing visibility. Where are you spending your time? Where are you putting your name? Because remember, everything you do, everything you associate with is an extension of your
Right.
brand.
Absolutely.
How you show up in the world is a part of your brand, and it's an extension of your brand. Even the comments you make on the 3rd step, which are on the platforms, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, the 3rd step is sharing your story. So anytime you're commenting out there online, anytime you say certain things offline, you're in groups of people, you're with groups of people, or you're in certain rooms, those things are an extension of your brand.
Yeah.
So there are certain things I will not do or say because it doesn't represent me.
Right.
I can't control how Dr. Lewis perceives me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't control your perception of me,
Mm-hmm.
but I can control what I put out there for the world to see.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I can't control your opinion. Your opinions of me is none of my business. But I can control what Dr. Lewis sees. And I'm not saying be fake or phony or try to be someone else. Be you,
Mm-hmm.
but know who that you is.
That's that part right there. Know who that you is. You know, that's the part right there.
Dr. Lewis, let me ask you this. Have you ever done that exercise, the branding exercise, where you ask people to give you 3 adjectives they would use to describe you and then ask them to be honest?
No, I have not, but I have participated in that. But I have not personally done it in any of my programs. But yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And see, because sometimes our 2016 version, our 2016 brand may be different from 2025.
Yeah.
So we got to do a checkup. We got to go in and do an audit of who we are and what we want to be known for, because
often.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we have to step back because we can't see the forest for the trees, right? Yes. We can't see what's really going on with our brands. Mm-hmm. Yes. So it's a good idea to kind of do a self-audit. Right. And then you can do that little exercise I just mentioned. Send out a text message, an email, make some phone calls and say, hey, Dr. Lewis, I'm doing a branding exercise. I'm just trying to look at my brand, because branding is always evolving.
Right.
That's why you should never get used to certain things, never get used to that business card that you've had since 2012. You may need to change that a little bit. You may need to tweak your colors a little bit. The way you're showing up, image is a part of your branding piece. It's a part of the visibility. Some of us, we show up the same way. Some of us, and that's how people know us. That's how they get to know us, because of the way you show up in the world.
Absolutely.
Now, as women, we do have the right. We're a little bit of chameleons. We may change the hair. I had people say, I know the voice. I was at a conference a couple of months ago. I know the voice. I know that voice, but I can't kind of know your face too, but I can't figure out who you are. It's because I had changed my hair. And I said, I'm Nikki Curry. They fell off their feet. I mean, they're like, oh my gosh, you are Nikki Curry. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am. Changed the hair, but it's still me. So there's,
and it's amazing because you get that, like you go somewhere and you get that. Yeah, I know, I know you. And sometimes I know I've gotten that, and it's like, okay, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, should I already know this person?
I know.
And I'm thinking, okay, should I know this person? But you just, like you say, it's because of what they've seen or what they've heard. And so then some of them really feel like, hey, I actually know this person.
Right. But you know what? That's a good thing. If someone feels like they can really relate to you and they feel like they know you, they may be meeting you for the very first time. That's a good thing. because that means they can relate to your story. They can relate to your brand. Your visibility is working for you. That puts them in your community. As women, we need to be building community. I always say content is king. I don't care how much you post on Facebook. Content is king, but community is queen. And we have to build community. We need that now more than ever. We need that camaraderie. We need that synergy. We need each other. I need to know I can call on Dr. Madeline and go, hey, this is going on such and such. Let's talk personal development. And that will give me that energy I need. That will give me that, we need that with each other. And that's what visibility, the right kind of visibility would do for you. It will help you build community. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I tell you, same page. Same page here.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
So, tell us, because you talk, we hear about the visibility a lot from you, and as well as the leadership. But what are the key differences between being visible and being influential? Because some people love that influence. I got all this influence. I'm an
influencer. And a lot of them are out here talking about they're an influencer. They got 5 million views, especially the business owners, and not one sale. Okay. 5 million. I know some personal, I ain't gonna call no names, but they got all these views and all of these accolades and people loving on them. Public success and private failures. I'm sorry.
Wow.
They're not moving the needle. They're so caught up into this being seen. They want to be because that's just that dopamine feeling. Okay. That's that vanity metrics that they're looking for. I don't think leaders should be worried about that. Again, we want to reflect our work. We love to see the results. We love to move the needle. We like to know things are working. But it's not about being seen. Visibility is not about, visibility is about being seen, but the right way.
Yeah.
It's about the right way. Influence is about being remembered by the work that you're doing in an impactful way. That's what I think it is. It's about inspiring action, creating a movement,
right?
Not just to be an influence so you can get 100 likes on your post, or you can get someone say, "Oh, I saw that you were in New York," and da-da-da, so somebody can pat you on the back and stroke your ego. It's not about that. So when you pair that visibility with the credibility, that creates influence. In my book, true influence happens. You know what I'm saying? It makes a difference. It definitely makes a difference.
And I just look at it, I feel like especially if I post something about career or what have you, and I feel like if it reaches one person or make an impact on one person, then I've pretty much done my job.
Exactly. I agree. And most people don't realize, posting on LinkedIn, some people post on LinkedIn so they can get a lot of likes and engagement, and there's nothing wrong with that. Engagement works. But a lot of times you have posts on LinkedIn, that's the visibility piece. LinkedIn is a great visibility strategy. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes you can get all these comments and posts and not one sale, not one person asking for a consultation, not one person saying, "You changed my life." I'd rather have 0 likes, 1 message, but 5 DMs saying, "Your story touched me. I saw myself in your post today." Because I've done that to others, saying, "I was around here shouting after reading your post."
Yes.
It touched me emotionally.
Like you, I just want to share it with as many people as I can so they can hopefully get what I got out of it,
Exactly. And that's influence. That's great visibility, that you're talking about something that's worth listening to.
Absolutely.
But you out here trying to get your ego stroked and look at me, look at me. It's time to be not so much about being known, but worth being known. You know what I mean? People need to know, you need to have that worth and that value. You need to bring something to the table. We have been entertained enough.
Yeah. Absolutely. You're right about that.
We have been the dancing bears enough. Okay. I mean, and I guess maybe that's why I use LinkedIn as a visibility strategy, because there is some entertainment over there, but people are about their business.
Exactly. And they post a lot of stuff that's resources and different things.
Exactly.
You know, that's what I like about it. I mean, you can sometimes that you may see something on there and you thought, oh wow, I didn't realize that. And you know, now you got a resource on something, you know, something
Exactly.
on something
Right.
that, you know, have taken place that you didn't know about. So now you know because they posted it on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
You know?
And here's the other thing about visibility. If when done correctly, it helps you build relationships before you need them.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's what and it builds trust, like we said earlier.
Yeah.
But relationships is the new currency. It has always been the currency. We just didn't know.
I mean, it's you're right about that, because for example, when I did my show up to Rise Up Women's Virtual Summit, most of the people that I pulled to speak on that summit was from LinkedIn. And I never met these people personally, but because just, you know, some of them have been on the show, some of them we just interacted, maybe in a message, something that they posted, something that I liked, and I connected with them. I'm telling you that when I did that virtual summit, I went through it. I was like, oh yeah, I want them. I like their message.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know? And I had about 20 speakers. I did it twice last year, and I had about 20 speakers. And
nice.
Like I said, both times most of them were pulled from LinkedIn.
Right.
I interacted with on LinkedIn. And that's why I like them, you know. And I get a lot of my guests too from LinkedIn.
Right. Yep. Oh, yeah. And see how all of those things come together, because you know, LinkedIn is a visibility strategy when done correctly. Speaking is a visibility strategy. These are strategies that will put you in front of the right people, sitting at the right tables. You're in the right rooms. It works. It works when done correctly. Again, we have to be intentional about where we spend our time and whom we are spending our time with. It is so important.
Yeah, like my marketing person, she contacted me the other day and she was telling me, because I have both a business page and a personal page. And so she told me, she said, we've been doing, you know, pushing the biggest business page. She says, but I want to start doing your personal page a little more.
Bingo.
That's what she told me.
You have to.
Yeah.
LinkedIn is all branding. Build your personal page and guide them over to the company page.
Right.
Dr. Madeline Lewis is a brand. She's an icon. She's a trailblazer. People want to get to know you. Right. You can convince us to do anything because you're a leader. You're stepping in that space. You're building and you're leading us in that space. Start with your personal brand on LinkedIn. Teach us, guide us on LinkedIn. Then direct us over to the company page.
Yeah, she wants to do the personal page. And I was thinking, you know, I just thought, you know, of course, when I first started out, I thought the business page would be the one, you know. She and I have been working together now for a little while, since I think the earlier part of last year.
Right.
And I guess after she's now gotten a sense
of your tone.
Yes. Now she's figured out that we need to do the personal page. Yeah.
She's absolutely correct, because remember I said earlier that everything and everyone has a brand.
Yes.
As Dr. Madeline Lewis, you have a brand. It's you. That's emotional branding piece that comes out that makes me want to connect with you. I may not even know anything about your company's name. Most people don't know the Image Brand Company, which is my parent company, but they know Nikki Curry, or they know Nikki Curry Media, or the brand definer. See what I'm saying? And people think my company's name is Nikki Curry Media, but it's not. Because we really don't care. The only thing we care about is, can Dr. Lewis solve my problem? That's all we care about. Absolutely. We care about the problems that you solve. That's it. We're about results. We want results. We want to get out of pain, or we want to satisfy these desires. That's all we care about, the wisdom. And people don't think like that. But again, that's it. We're here, put here, we're designed to solve problems. Exactly. Dentists solve problems of teeth. Lawyers solve legal problems. Mechanics fix. It sounds so simple, but it escapes most of us. We don't get it.
Absolutely. Wow.
That's it. Yeah.
Now I want to switch a little bit here.
Okay.
Because in your bio, I talked about you being a talent booker.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to ask you about that. Tell me what maybe are some talents that you booked and that you might want to tell us about, because I want the audience to know too that even though we're talking about visibility and leadership, we also have Nikki Media, you know. So we want to tell us about that, the talent booker part.
So the talent booker part can go both ways. For media, I do publicity, high level publicity. In other words, I help people get what we call media relations. Public relations is the main umbrella. So I'm also a crisis manager. I can do that too. But the talent booking piece, I can book you for TV, radio, publications, podcasts, all of that good stuff. And I can also book you for stages. Okay. And I love working with speakers. I work with the A-list. I work with the B-list. I work with the C-list. So the A-list is what we call the 3 A's: the athletes, the actors, and the astronauts. So your Will Smiths of the world, or your Jennifer Lewis of the world, which I just booked her. your actors, right? Those are the people, you pay top dollar to come see those speakers. Right. They're on stages, they put butts in the seats, all that good stuff. Then you have your B list. These are the innovators. These are the inventors. You may not know their name, but you may know the person that, right, the CEO of Papa John's. Right. That's that kind of list. And then that C list, not that any of them are better than the other. The C list are those subject matter experts. Those C lists are those that may not be as well known as the A list. Right. But they are the ones that's changing the world. Like me. Exactly. I'm telling you, I had a conversation a few months ago with someone, an influencer, that said, Nikki, I know you work with a lot of people. I booked Melba Moore. I booked Jane Kennedy. I booked Bobby Brown. I booked E.T., the hip hop preacher. You know what I mean? I all of these people have been in my sphere, working for clients and getting the right speakers for the right events and that kind of thing. King Ashley Ann, Wall Street Trapper, the people that are tearing things up out there. But I had a conversation with someone that said, maybe you shouldn't focus so much on those speakers that are unknown, the lesser known speakers.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe you should focus on those people that you've worked with, those celebrities that you work with. You don't really talk about that. And so, no, I don't. But maybe you should focus. And I understand where they were coming from. I understand where she was coming from, because that would heighten my credibility, right? But that's not what I'm in this for. I'm not in this for the fame. I'm in this for the impact. Okay. And I had to step back, adjust my face, and get my response ready. Like, I get what you're saying, but nope. I've always been an underdog, so I kind of had built a community of underdogs, right? Not that we're leaning on that. It's just that we're just different. We've never been a part of the Cool Kids Club, and we never cared to be, and we're okay with it. So that's my tribe. Those are my people. That's the community that I built. But I've worked with those that I think should be on stages. They just need that push. They need that chance. They need that opportunity. They need the know-how and the resources. And that's what I'm here for. Yeah. But I can give you a whole laundry list. As a matter of fact, I'm creating I'm a brand strategist, but I have a brand strategist that's recreating my brand now. We're revamping it a little bit because there's some things I'm just not doing in 2025. Okay. Right. So, okay. I'm tired. I'm not doing it. But I mean, like some of the people I've worked with, like I said, Jane Kennedy Jr. from the Steve Harvey Morning Show, as far as celebrities. And I've worked with Kim Coles. I've booked people, and then I've made people money by booking them. Right. But they've also helped me. They've empowered me.
Absolutely.
So again, it's about building relationships. I feel like I'm good enough to book almost anyone. I'm going to get a yes or no from you, from your team, or the person that's your gatekeeper, your handler that's like me. We have a conversation. We have a language that we speak. We understand each other, right? Yeah. But I think it's a win-win on both sides. I think everyone deserves the mic if they want to step up to the mic.
Gotcha. So how do you handle criticism or negative feedback when you're in the public eye?
Woo, now we're stepping into reputation management. We're stepping into crisis management. And because you're going to have some haters. You're definitely going to have some haters. I was told by a friend of mine that if I don't have any haters, I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough, right? And at first I was like, what are you talking about? Who wants haters? Who wants to be talked about or dismissed or anything like that? But my advice to those that are trying to figure out, when you get that backlash or when you get that thing of, oh my gosh, they're attacking me. And it does happen quite a bit online. I have some high level clients, some high visible clients that they send me a message, hey, we need to handle this troll. What can I say? What can I do? And my first piece of advice to them is to hold up, step back. Don't just jump out there on emotions and start responding. Don't clap back just yet. Let's look at this, because what you're getting ready to do is tarnish your brand. So be very careful with that. Be very, very careful with that. Especially those that are always in the spotlight. I mean, a lot of people someone is always watching you. So let me just say that. Someone is always watching you. So you want to be intentional about your response. Just get in front of things without blowing it up. Don't go nitro on people, especially online, because you're going to hurt yourself more than you're going to hurt them. So I say, take a look at what they're saying, see if there's any validity to what they're saying. And then you sit there and you decide how you want to respond to this. Because sometimes you can just ignore people.
Yeah.
Again, there are always someone watching you. There are people watching you. They're just waiting on the opportunity to tear you down.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We call that free PR, but okay. You know why? Sometimes it's envy. Sometimes they have nothing to do. They're bored. Right. And they don't want to see you win. But you know what? You keep going. You keep fighting. You keep being responsible and accountable. Responsibility takes no days off. So you have to stay responsible. You have to hold a torch, because there's someone on the other side of that drama that's looking at you. They're holding you accountable to help lead them. So you can't just blow things up just because you don't agree with what they said. You can confront them, but do it in a way where it makes sense. And a lot of times that's where people call me in. They're like, how should I handle this?
Girl, I know what you mean. Now, we're almost coming up to the end here. So tell us first if you have anything coming up that you'd like us to know about, and then let us know how the audience can reach out to you if they wanted to contact you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I do have a few things coming. We're just confirming them. I know that I will be appearing on the Black Business Olympics next week. I'm going to be speaking on Tuesday. That's the Black Business Olympics, hosted and presented by Dr. Eric Kelly with the Black Business Expo. Great platform, global platform. That's where I met you. Phenomenal speakers. I mean, phenomenal. I mean, I have notes and notes and notes and notes. So I will be there. As a matter of fact, I would love for people to connect with me on LinkedIn. And I would love to offer your audience, go to LinkedIn. I'm sorry, Nikki Curry Media on LinkedIn. Nikki Curry Media. And then I would also love to give them a freebie, a free gift, visibility tips and strategies, things that you probably would never think about. I'm a strategist, and I always love doing things differently than other people. So if everyone would go to just a shortened link I use, tiny URL, that's tinyurl.com/Nikki Curry. tinyurl.com/Nikki Curry. And you would get my free guide for 20 visibility tips. I'm talking about things you can do.
I'm good.
With the zip codes.
I hope everybody got that website, tiny, tinyurl.com Nikki Curry.
Yep, so, it's just a landing page. I like to keep things simple. I could easily send you to a website, but I just wanted that particular piece right there will help elevate and grow your visibility, whether it's your personal visibility or your company's visibility, your business. So there are things that we could be doing right now that doesn't cost us any money to elevate our platforms.
Before we also sign off, Mark, our engineer, he put in the chat, he wanted to know if Jane's sister is still a police officer. Do you know? So I think you mentioned, Jane, that you booked.
Oh, Jane Kennedy. Yes.
Jane Kennedy.
Yes. You know what? I'm not sure. It's funny. Jane Kennedy and I was chatting through DM the other day on LinkedIn. And she's like, it's been a long time, girl. And I met Jane through my mentor. My publicist. I met her through my mentor, and I booked her for shows and radio shows and things like that. I just love her. She is truly iconic. Truly iconic. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, Nikki. And you and I will see each other again next week on the
Absolutely.
Black. So it's always a pleasure. It was a pleasure meeting you, pleasure having you on the show. You have shared some great nuggets with us. So again, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you.
With us. Thank you.
Always a pleasure. Call me anytime. I'm here.
Thank you.
Love working with you. And I hope I get to do a little fireside chat with you next week.
Yeah, we're going to have to make that happen.
Yeah, because we were talking some good stuff last time. I mean, I was fired up. I could have talked to you all night.
We can definitely make that happen then.
Okay.
All righty. So just to let everybody know, because I know we're coming up, we only have a few seconds here. Just let everybody know about my new book that's out right now. Make sure that you get the Show Up to Rise Up, Explore the Transformative Power of a Positive Mindset. The book has achieved bestseller status on Amazon in the Women in Business category, and it's now available for purchase. So make sure, so if you want to, or if you're ready to embrace change and start living your best life, now's the time, and my book will show you the way, and it's available now, again, on Amazon. So just go to Amazon, put my name in the search box, Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, and it will come up. I just want to thank again my guest, Miss Nikki Curry, and my viewers and listeners for joining me tonight. This is the Successful Women Show. I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, and if you'd like to reach out to me, you can email me at info@exwsi.com or go to my website, www.exwsi.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and to the Pod TV channel, like and share this episode with others. Again, this is the Successful Women Show. We're here every week. I'm your host, Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, helping women to accelerate the path to success. Thank you again to Miss Nikki Curry for joining us, my viewers and my listeners. I love you all to life. And as always, be well and stay safe out there. Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, host of the Successful Women Show, which airs every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our mission is to help women accelerate the path to success. Women in the workplace, women in business, and women who aspire to become business owners, live their dreams, and reach their goals. So join us Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives at top companies worldwide? Have you wondered what the secrets are to getting into the top ranks, whether in the private or public sector? Do you want to figure out how to stop being held back in your career or passed over for promotion? Then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. I have decades of experience in the military, the federal government, and corporate America, and my mission is to help women succeed and tap into their full potential. I want to reach 1 million plus women around the world to become the leaders they are meant to be. So if you want to move into a management or executive level position, or maybe you are a female veteran transitioning out of the military into business entrepreneurship, then reach out to the Executive Women's Success Institute at 301-693-3284. Let us get you on the fast track to success.